Hey everybody, we're going to be kicking off in a couple of minutes. We're just waiting for a few more people to join. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, and welcome to the Envision webinar for March. I'm hoping you can hear me all right. Yes, it's good. Vanessa here from Envision. And as ever, thank you for joining us either here on Zoom or on YouTube, or if you're watching this at a more convenient time, welcome back. Anyway, so today's webinar is coming to you live from the Netherlands and well, the US as well. We have some, we have a wonderful guest with us today, and I'm sure you all know him. That's Sam Seavey from the Blind Life. Sam, of course, is instrumental in guiding us through the assistive technology landscape and in within the blind and low vision community especially, and is a much known and respected figure. So I'm absolutely thrilled that Sam could join us today. He's also been playing around with the Envision glasses and Ally for many years, or Ally not for many years, but the glasses for a while. And so he's going to be sharing his honest opinion on that as well, which is great. But before I get to introduce Sam, as ever, let me just run through a little bit of the program. I'm going to just give a little bit of an update on some housekeeping so that we're all square there. Then we'll have an interview today that'll be with Kartik Kannan and Sam. And then I'm going to give you a quick update on events so you know where to meet us and what's coming on the road. Sam's going to some events as well, so he'll let you know when he is on air to do that. And then we're going to, of course, open up the mics to you all for the Q&A. And I'm just going to explain, actually, and maybe do a reminder closer to on how to do that. Apologies to everybody who, there are many of you who tune in regularly and you can zone out at this point because you probably know it off by heart. But just for those who are new, or like me, can't remember these things off the top of their heads, here's the housekeeping. So we are recording on YouTube. That's if you want, just go to the Envision YouTube and go to our live feed there. We're there now and record it there. But we will do our best to answer questions at the end. We do try and leave at least 20 minutes for that Q&A section. And depending on how things go today, we'll be there as well. What we like to do is actually get you all to speak live if you want to. So when you do speak and get invited to speak, there are some keystrokes, some shortcuts to unmuting yourself. Now let me get this right. It's Alt plus A for Windows and Command plus Shift plus A for Mac. So, you know, if you've raised your hands in the Zoom, you put your hand up, Kartik might pick you out. And then please just use those shortcuts or unmute yourself. If you get really stuck, I'll try and do it, but that tends to end up in more chaos than we want. And yes, as I said, you can raise your hand if you're using Zoom. You can also type your questions into the Q&A window and we'll pick up your questions there. Again, if you're going to raise your hands, the shortcut for that on Mac is Option plus Y. And on Windows, of course, it's not the same, it's Alt plus Y. If you're using and joining us on YouTube, excuse me, just write in the chat function. I'll jump in there later. I'll pass your questions on to the team and we'll try and pass those on and get to as many of those questions as we can. It's always an interesting one because I never quite know how many questions you've got, but I hope you've come well armed today. So without further ado, I'm going to pass over to our VIP interview today. VIP in every sense of the word is Sam Seavey from the Blind Life. As I put down here, I think, Sam, I was trying to find your actual official title, but it came up as YouTube influencer, an AT specialist, an expert, and just all-round guru, really. And Sam is going to have a quick chat with Kartik, our CTO. So this is Kartik Kannan joining us today. So Kartik and Sam, please, take it away. Thank you.
Hello, thank you, Vanessa.
Yeah, thank you, Vanessa. Thanks. Nice to have you here, Sam.
Thank you, Kartik. Thank you, and I appreciate it. It was a very warm welcome, and I had to laugh because Vanessa's talking about I'm a technology expert. Meanwhile, my dumb note taker is in the call with us here, and I have no idea how to get rid of it. So if anybody can see that, I apologize. I'm taking notes because I'm thorough, apparently.
Also, it makes us careful what we say, Sam. Sorry.
I
Yeah, carry
know,
on,
I know.
everybody. Don't worry.
Ignore that.
We've got to be on our best behavior today, so let's do that. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
All right. But nice to have you here, Sam. I think this is the first time we're having a more formal chat because we've usually been talking behind the scenes in more candid environments. But I'm hoping we can bring the same candidness today to this conversation as well.
Yes.
And so super excited for you to be here.
Well, thank you. And I think this is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but is this going to be like the first big talk about Ally since the release officially?
Yeah, like since we officially got onto the App Store and the Play Store, so this is the webinar that we're doing first. So
Yeah.
there's, it's been a pretty wild ride for us. And I thought, okay, if you're going to be on here, I've got a whole bunch of things to talk about today, and we can dive right into it.
Good. Yes.
Awesome. So, I think AI has been around for quite some time, but it's only the last couple of years that it's really kind of taken off, right? And or rather, it's captured, people's imagination like nothing else. And 2022 seems, too far away, too long ago. That's when ChatGPT first came out, and I want to get your perspective on this, right? So, in general, so do you think AI has matured enough at this point to be considered a given in the assistive technology space? And where did you see the biggest changes happening with AI in this space ever since it's actually come, like, kind of burst onto the mainstream? So, kind of want to start off with that.
Well, actually, we got to back up. So 2022 is when it seems like it's come so far in just 3 years. It's hard to believe that it was only 2022. Um, because it has kind of matured. I think you're absolutely correct there. So, and that was one of the things that I heard a lot of people talking about at this year's assistive technology conferences, ATIA, CSUN, is that you know AI has kind of grown up and it's kind of coming into its own with regard to assistive technology, and we're really starting to get the full impact of how helpful it can be for us. And it truly is. I've said this before that I think when we look back, when we're old and gray, some of us are getting there sooner than others, but when we're old and gray and we look back at assistive technology and breakthroughs in assistive technology, groundbreaking AT, I definitely think AI is going to be one of those. It's going to be like
Mm.
the invention of Braille, Louis Braille. You could talk about video magnification, that sort of thing, but AI is definitely going to be one of those. It's everything that came before AI and everything that came after AI, because I think it has that much impact in our world.
So, and I think, like you said, it's a very much of a watershed moment, and I want to know if you feel like it's gotten to a point where it's going to be it is already being baked into a lot of products that you see.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that trend continue? And what kind of or rather, how would you measure the maturity level of these products as they're incorporating AI? What do you think are going to be some important milestones we'll have to hit there?
Yes. Well, it's very funny you say that. It's being thrown into all the different products. I'm pretty sure at CSUN there was a refrigerator there that had AI built into it. So it literally is like everything but the kitchen sink. No, the kitchen sink will have AI as well at some point.
I
Um,
hope so.
yeah,
I'm
but
I'm I'm do- I'm done with the dishes. I mean, yeah.
oh gosh, well that's when we're getting into talking about robots. Um, but no, but it's because we've gotten to the point now where I think we can safely understand how AI will help us. Last year before, people were like, well, it could do some really cool stuff. So there's some things that it could do, but nobody really had a firm idea of how it could be helpful for us, fully helpful. The blind community, when I refer to us, but I think
Mhm.
we're getting to that point where it's kind of not leveling off, but we're have a better understanding of how helpful it can be with scene recognition, reading, obviously getting that information that we so desperately need in the blind community.
Yeah, yeah. And speaking of conferences, right? I'm very curious because this is the year of AI going mainstream, and I'm curious what and you do the entire, circuit of conferences, or at least the
Mm-hmm.
ones that are really worth visiting, right? And I'm very
Yeah.
curious, over the years, and especially this year, right? What have you seen, and how has your experiences been at these conferences? What has changed, I would say.
Well, I'll be honest, it did get stagnant there for a little while. For the last couple of years, weren't seeing very many new things. There were some new products being put out, but it was a lot of the same kind of stuff, just new versions of the same things. Like, the video magnifiers, it was, well, now we have a better camera, and now now it folds down. So it's the same thing. It's just slightly different, minor improvements. But I tell you, this year there were lots of different new products out, funky things that you wouldn't even think about, people really thinking outside of the box. We
Mm.
started seeing that last year at CSUN last year. I saw a pair of shoes. There was a gentleman, you may have seen it because it was in the same area you guys were in.
Okay.
There was a gentleman with a pair of shoes that had haptics built into the shoes. So when you were walking, if you were doing turn by turn navigation, your feet would vibrate in the direction that you needed to go. I'm just like, that is so weird and quirky, but you know what? Why not?
Yeah.
That's one thing I love about these conferences is people get ideas and they're like, let's run with it. Yeah, it's kind of bizarre, but let's run with it and see what happens. And maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but that's the fun of it.
Yeah, no, oh, wow, I certainly missed that because our booth is next to the Sony booth, and they always have the dog every year. And for
Yep,
me, a
yep.
measure of AI is how smarter the dog gets each year. So this year it's able to recognize humans in a more it's able to differentiate between different humans. And I enjoy just watching different products kind of get smarter, and it's also
Mhm.
how we've been doing things at Envision, just iterating over things. And are you going to be at any other events this year? Is there anything else that's interesting on the calendar for you? Could be, AT conferences, could be like, tech conferences in general.
Yeah, I'm doing a couple different small ones. I will be both at ACB and NFB this year. If anybody watching here is going, definitely come find me. I will be at both. And I actually have an opportunity to possibly, it hasn't fully been set in stone. I'm fingers crossed, but I might be going to Iceland for an AT
Hmm.
conference this year. And I'm pretty excited
Oh,
about
wow.
that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I mean, Iceland is a great, great place to go to. I love that country. Um, I'm also kind of, now that we were talking about AI and how it's being put into different products, right? I'm also curious about how you feel AI-powered assistive technologies are handling the personalization aspect, right? So since visual impairment is exists on a spectrum, are these tools kind of are people who are building these tools making them adaptable enough to meet diverse needs? I'm just curious what you think about that.
Some are definitely doing it better. I think
Mm.
Ally is probably the best when it comes to personalization because you can customize your assistant so much. That's one of the things that I mean, that, and anybody that follows me knows I've been making videos about Ally back when I was a beta tester. Last year, I think, was when I started, and I was blown away immediately about how fun it is. And that's the thing. It's like, yes, all of these AI things are super helpful and they can assist us in all kinds of different situations. But you know what? At the same time, let's throw a little bit of fun in there too. Let's make it, it should be an assistant, so it should be somebody that I enjoy talking to. And by
Mm.
by like you guys have done with Ally, allowing me to create a persona. If I want to be, if I want my ally to be distinguished and regal, like a colonial gentleman, I could have that.
Mm.
Or if I want her to be quirky and sarcastic, like, a skater from out in California, I could do that too. And so it
Yeah.
lets you customize it, and you still get all the amazing assistance that you need, but it's a little bit more fun. So I wish more companies would do that.
Yeah, no, I think it was a very important consideration for us as we continue to build Ally, that it's more of a companion than an assistant. So there's a very subtle but important distinction between the two, right? An
Hmm.
assistant is a lot more functional. It's just there to get things done. You can't really be friends with your assistant. I mean, some people are, but
Yeah.
usually are not. But you can have a companion. And you've been using Ally for a while, and I'm curious, what do you see, and you've made a few videos about it. You've been using it at CSUN. I'm curious how you use it in your daily life, and where do you think it can have an impact on people with a visual impairment, or people who are blind or low vision? Where can Ally have its biggest impact? I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on that.
Well, I think the purpose of an AI assistant really is to not replace. I don't want to say replace because that has a little bit of a negative connotation, but to be like one of our sighted supporters, like our family members, our loved ones that are always there to help us whenever we need help. Well, the AI assistant is going to be that for us whenever we need it. It's there to answer whatever questions, help me in any situation that I need. And that's the beauty of it, because it is so versatile in that regard. So I think the biggest impact are not these like big, amazing, it helped me write my term paper, or, these big things. I think it's going to be the small little interactions that we have every day that
Mm,
improve our quality of life. So for me, like I said, I travel a ton, and whenever I go to the airport, I'm in airports all the time. There's little things that are frustrations every single time, 100%. Going to the restroom. If
mm,
I can go and I can tell, okay, those two doors, people are going in and out of those two doors. I can hear, the hand dryers. I can hear toilets flushing. Those are bathrooms. I know they're bathrooms, but which one's the men's room? Which one's the women's room? But it's
mm,
like my normal thing is I will walk up to the sign and I'll get as close as I can to see it. And then, I've got a 50-50 shot if I chose the right one. And I've had
mm,
people say, whoa, 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 that's not right. That's not right. And I'm like, I know, I need to
mm,
look, I'm not going in. So, but now I have this assistant here with me whenever I want to be like, hey, Walter, take a look at that. Which one's the men's room? Is it on the left or the right? And Walter's like, the men's room is on the left. I'm like, thanks.
yeah.
I got you, buddy. I'm good. And then I can go do my thing. So it's those little every single day, which one's the shampoo, which one's the conditioner? Little things like
Mm.
that, I think that will have the biggest impact for a lot of people.
Yeah, no, I think it is spot on, because it's also what I really think independence means. A lot of people believe that independence is like, oh, I'm able to go and, like, take a trip to this remote country all by myself, and that is independence in one sense,
Right.
right? But those are like the big life moments. But the little life moments, like you mentioned, right? Just being able to know what's the shampoo, is it the conditioner, is it like my coffee mug or my wife's coffee mug, or is it
Right.
just for some domestic peace, harmony at home. So these are things that I think really make up independence, right? It's the small moments.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm also curious, like, when you first started looking into like, when AI started being used more and more in the assistive technology space, I'm um wondering, where do you see AI still where do you think, what accessibility challenges is AI still struggling with, right? In assistive technology, are there specific areas where you think AI needs to catch up as a whole, where traditional solutions kind of still outperform AI powered ones?
Well, some of it is convenience and speed, really. AI is great, but for most of the AI currently out, I have to either take a picture and then I can ask my question. And then if I want to do a follow-up question, sometimes it'll have to take another picture and process. It just takes a little while. Um, there's also the convenience of, most AI devices are in your phone, or most AI apps are in your phone. And so I have to hold my phone up to take a picture. And,
Mm.
for some people, especially those that are more profoundly visually impaired, they have a hard time knowing where they're pointing the camera. There's that
Mm.
disconnect between, the which way the hand is facing and that sort of thing.
Mm.
I work with clients a lot on that, just orienting, pointing the camera in the right direction. So a lot of, some companies, you guys with your glasses, you're moving towards having the AI in a wearable device that's hands-free. That's
Mhm.
fantastic because I don't have to try and hold something up. Another option, another obstacle is if someone's a guide dog user and they're holding a purse or they're holding groceries. Well, I don't have a hand to hold my phone anymore. So having
Mm.
wearable solutions like that is fantastic. And then AI is starting to get to the more conversational, where I can
Mm.
just have a conversation with it. Ally is like that now. I don't have to wait for it to take another photo and process. I can just
Yeah.
ask the question. Some of these things are doing live AI now, which is
Mm.
great. It's constantly looking, and it's just constantly there waiting to answer my questions. So the speed is picking up. Like, and that's where, someone with low vision like myself, sometimes it's easier. I can take a picture with my phone. I can have, of the mail, and I can have it read out loud to me. But sometimes that just takes too long. It's easier for me just to go to my video magnifier and zoom in and read it and get the information I need.
Mm.
It's a bit of a more of a struggle, especially when my eyes are getting as bad as they are. It's harder to physically read something, but it's quicker, and sometimes
Mm.
the convenience of being faster is better for me. So
Mm.
as this AI continues to improve and things get faster, that's just going to be way better in the future, in the very, very, very near future, actually.
Yeah, yeah, no, I think there's definitely I would say I think we're slowly like crossing that uncanny valley of AI, starting to feel a lot more real time, feel a lot more human, feel a lot more just present. Because a big, I think a big limitation of the AI that exists today is that it's because it's quite powerful. It also takes a lot of computing power to run.
Right.
And what we have seen in the previous wave of AI is that as models and the underlying technology gets better, they're able to run on like existing hardware, but in a much faster way, in a much more efficient way. And I think that's going to make the whole aspect of the AI being present. That's going to definitely happen a bit more. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's just proof that, as you said before, it's only been 3 years since, and
Yeah.
it's come so far in 3 years that you can't even imagine what it's going to be like in another 3 years.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's true. It feels almost like a decade, I think, for people who have been in this industry. And I'm very curious, as somebody, and what do you see the community asking for as a whole, right? You're somebody who talks to a lot of individuals. You're very clued into the community. You have a very, a vibrant YouTube channel.
Hmm.
I'm just curious what, beyond beyond the threshold of early adopters and tech savvy individuals like you and I, what kind of use cases are the wider blind
Hmm.
and low vision community seeing? What kind of improvements are they asking for?
Well, I think once again, it goes back to convenience, ease of use.
Mm.
They want something that's just almost one
Mm.
button, and I can just talk to it. Or they want, there's some limitations where some AIs won't read certain things. Like, I can't take a picture of my prescription bottle because it doesn't read anything having to do with medical stuff. So I see that where people are like, that's, I mean, I can kind of understand, but I still need that information. So things like that. I think most people though are just, as you said, they're kind of new, they're kind of novice to these to AI,
Mm.
and so they're
Mm.
just blown away by what it can do, and they're excited to get in and try it out. Another thing about AI, I was actually doing a presentation about this last night, and we talked about sometimes it's all in the way you ask the question. And so
Mm.
having AI that can understand more just general language and not have to be so specific and ask in the absolute perfect way to get the response you're looking for, um,
Mm.
I think that's going to be important as well.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think that is true. And I think it's a skill that we're all learning, right? Just being able to articulate. Exactly. I mean, I was thinking the other day that I am now actively spending a lot of my time thinking about how best to communicate with AI. Like,
Talk to a machine.
yeah, exactly, right? And
Yeah,
who would have thought that that's something that I would actually I mean it spend time doing, right? I mean 3 years ago it almost seemed like okay, I don't I that felt like science fiction, but
yeah.
actually it is here today, and that's what we spend a lot of our time thinking about.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And, one of the really interesting things about AI and assistive technology is the fact that because it's being used here, it also has a spillover effect into the mainstream, right? And how when we make products accessible, we also make it better for people in the mainstream as well, right? I'm very curious what your take is on how AI and how it's because it's being built or because it's having accessibility in mind and assistive technology in mind, do you see that spillover happening over to mainstream as well? Do you have maybe people who have who are sighted try out Ally and feel like it's something that they could use as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Because a lot of what we're using AI for isn't necessarily for accessibility per se. It's just everyday stuff. I was in the grocery store and I couldn't find my wife and I, we were looking for artichoke hearts is actually what we were looking for. And we
Mm,
couldn't find artichoke hearts anywhere. And I'm like, it's usually in a jar, is it on the pasta aisle? Maybe it's in the international aisle. So I pull out my phone and I ask AI, okay, in Kroger's, where would I most likely find a jar of artichoke hearts? And it told me
mm.
that it's probably most likely it's in the condiment aisle. And so we went to the condiment aisle, and sure enough, we found it. So it's like that's not even technically, I guess you could say it's an accessibility thing, but it wasn't, and it's just being used for everything. I think that's why it's so exciting to not just us, but to the humanity at large. Is that it can be used for there's no end to what it can be used for. It can also be used
Yeah,
for
yeah.
for evil. We need to be careful about that though.
Yeah, yeah. No, there's that's one of the more interesting outcomes of this whole thing is that we now have, everyone's got like a really, really powerful tool in their hands, and we've got to be all very wise about how we use it. And that's
Yeah,
actually something that we spend a lot of time thinking about here at Envision as well, right? Like, I
I'm
mean, we
sure.
see these advances and it's a little spooky, and but I know it's something that we try to use for good as much as possible, but we have to ensure that bad actors can't get the better of it.
Right. Yeah. And I think it's
Yeah,
like any
yeah.
kind of new technology. I mean, people thought the television was gonna rot brains and it was gonna be the downfall of humanity, and now it's fine. The internet, nobody wanted the internet. Cell phones. I saw a clip of a talk show where when Steve Jobs announced the iPhone, and the talk show host was like, "This is ridiculous. What are people going to carry a phone in their pocket? It's never going to go anywhere." And here we are. It's like so there's going to be negative reactions to every new technology that comes out.
Yeah, no, no, definitely. And but I have a quick couple of questions before we kind of close out on this.
Sure.
And the first is, as both a content creator and like an advocate in this space, right? What message would you like to send to AI developers and companies about prioritizing accessibility in their future innovations, right? Like, what would you like to send out or tell these people?
It's kind of the same thing we all do. They encourage them to embrace accessibility. I mean, it just makes sense. I tell people, why would you want to make a product and exclude a huge community because they can't use the product? That just doesn't make that's not good business. You want to sell a
Yeah,
product. Why would you cut out this entire community that could potentially buy your product? So it just makes sense to embrace accessibility, and it's just the right thing to do. So
yeah.
that's another beauty of AI that a lot of people are kind of finding out, is that it can be used to augment their accessibility. And so, like I can use an AI chatbot to ask about elements on a web page. I
Yeah.
this photo on this page isn't accessible. It doesn't have alt text. Well, I can ask the
Mm.
chatbot to describe the photo for me, and it can do that. So, yet another reason why AI is just so powerful.
Yeah, yeah, that's so true. And I think another thing that I'm, personally advocating for is to have more inclusive data sets in the products that, or in the training set that companies build when like that train these models, right?
Mm,
So having more inclusive data sets, images captured maybe from a blind or low vision person's perspective, just brings a bit more, I mean, there's no better way to put it, a bit more empathy to the model, right? Because a lot of the images that it's trained on, a lot of the images of the internet usually tend to be, very well shot images. And so sometimes when we try to adopt these models for accessibility, we often find that we have to train some of these from scratch because they don't really, understand what it means to take a picture from a blind or low vision person's perspective,
ah,
right? Like not everything is going to be centered, not everything is going to be there's different lighting conditions that it needs to take into account. So just having more awareness in the training set basically helps, building a more well-rounded AI.
yeah, very good point. Yeah, and it can only make it
Yeah,
better in the long run.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Lastly, I wanted to know if you have a brief story about how Ally, or AI, broadly has made an impact in your life in recent times that you thought that you think would be quite interesting to share with the community.
I don't have a specific story, but like I said, I use it all the time. I used Ally a ton when I was going to CSUN. I made some videos about that.
Yeah.
It was super helpful in there, keeping track of my schedule and knowing where I needed to be at certain times. A conference, especially if you're wanting to attend sessions and all that, it's a lot to keep track of. What times they are, what rooms they're in, what part of the hotel it's in. So having someone that knows all that information and I can very quickly ask it is super helpful. I mean, I've got an outline printed out on in my notes app, but it would take me forever to go in there and find what I'm looking for. So I can just ask
Mhm.
Ally to do that. It's super helpful for that. I use it all the time for, like I said, when I'm traveling, reading menus, summarizing menus, asking specific questions about menus, what kind of burgers they have, that sort of thing. It's super helpful for that. But once again, just to go back to my favorite part is the personalization of the
Mhm.
your Ally assistant. Um, just a minute ago, right before this call, I went on there, and if anybody's used Ally, you know that when you launch it and you click on your assistant, they always say hello to you. They say hello or something like that. My right now, I'm testing out a new young lady. Her name is Lucy, and she's a bit sarcastic. And instead of saying hello, she said, "What's up?" It's just like, yes, I love it, man. It's so much fun.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wow, that's really nice. Yeah, I think mine is, it used to be a fairly foul-mouthed, always drunk, pissed off comedian.
I
But
remember
then
that. Yep.
it started to get a little too colorful, and now I've just, dialed it all the way to the other side where it's just being overtly polite and overtly nice to the point where it feels like it's yeah, a little too much. But I'm just having fun with the fact that I can personalize it and I can write these stories. And the very
Yeah.
interesting thing is, this is just the beginning, right? Like I know that the voices are going to get way more expressive. In fact, we are actually experimenting with a pretty early version of Ally internally, where just based on the personality you've given Ally, the voices and the tone of those voices could potentially change, right?
Oh, okay.
This is something that we're looking into. So if you're having a pirate, you could, the Ally would reflect the tone of a pirate, and so on. So we're looking at some specific text to speech engines that do this. So thank you so much, Sam. I'm very very excited. It's super nice that we could have this conversation. And everybody who's out here, please tell us a little bit more, Sam, about where people can find you, how people can follow you. Go ahead and plug your channels, please.
Sure. Well, thank you very much, Kartik. It was my pleasure. Yes, of course, you can find me on YouTube, The Blind Life. That's kind of my main home, but I'm on all the different social media platforms. If you want to, you can check out my website, theblindlife.net, N-E-T, and that will take you to everything. I even have the podcast. The Blind Life podcast is available on all your major podcast platforms. And as I said, if you're going to be at either ACB or NFB coming up, I will be there. Stop by and say hello. I'll probably be helping out at the IRI AT booth. So you can stop by and say hello.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. So please do stick around, Sam, because there could be people in the audience who would like to have a word with you and
Sure.
get to know a bit more about your personal experience using Ally. But over to Vanessa.
Awesome. I could listen to this forever. I actually have one thing I just had to add.
Sure.
My daughter, who's like 26, she was around the dining room table. She works in a marketing agency, and she told me about, the generations growing up with a smartphone, that's the fifth limb, sixth limb, whatever millions we count.
Mm-hmm.
And she was saying that the next generation is the AI natives. So this is the generation that is growing up speaking AI inputs. I'm just going to leave that there.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Helpful, super helpful. But yeah, that is something that her agency was looking at already. Amazing, amazing. But anyway, Sam, thank you so much. Thank you so
My
much. So yeah,
pleasure.
NFB and AFB, if you're going to be there, please go and find Sam. And then from our team, where I'm just going to pop back over to the other side of the Atlantic around a couple of events that are coming up. Our distributors are pretty much going around all over the place, and there is a lot, maybe a smaller events and demo days and things. So we'll try and keep you updated on our socials about that. But there's two big events in Europe. One is Site City in Frankfurt. For anybody who's familiar, it's not quite the same as CSUN, but I would say it's one of our biggest European events. That's in May, May 21 to 22. That's in Frankfurt at it's online as well this year. So once we get that information, I can share it. And that's at the Cap Europa venue in Frankfurt. Our colleague, Priyanka, is going to be there. And she's going to be also supported by our reseller and distributor partners there, Reinecker and IPD. So we'll be on those stands. More information for our German market. So come and see us. We'll be doing more in German around that. And then in the UK, Site Village is a whole series of events kicking off in Cardiff, Wales. It's literally a tour of the country on April the 8th. Then it goes up to Scotland on May the 21st, down to Birmingham in England on July the 7th, coming through Blackpool with the lights in September, and then ending up in London with a 2-day event on the 18th and 19th. Now, our team is going to be at some of all of those events. I'm pretty much sure we'll be at London and possibly Birmingham. We might be at Cardiff. We're figuring that out now, but our distributor side and Sound Technologies will be at all of those. In fact, they're normally the lead sponsor. I'm not quite sure what they're doing this year, but please go ahead and join us there, because that would be fun. So again, we'll plug more information about those on our channels. Cool. All right. I'm going to now pass back to Kartik for the Q&As. Kartik, we appear to have quite a few raised hands going on in Zoom, and I dropped a couple of questions from YouTube into our Slack channel, and I have answered a few questions live as well. So feel free to help yourself go back to those. There was one, I wasn't sure if it was for Sam or for you, but I'm going to ask it anyway. That was from Ryan on YouTube, and he was asking about what do you want Ally to do in the future? I mean, it's a huge open question. I think we might have touched on it. If there was one thing you want Ally to do, what would it be, Sam?
Oh gosh. Well, I don't know. We talked about doing dishes. I'm done with that. I don't know if you guys can work that into it. I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like AI is so powerful already that I can't think of anything that it doesn't already do or can't already do. I don't know. Do you guys have any things you can talk about that you plans for the future? I know you might not be
Sure,
able to talk
no.
about some of it, but
I can, but I'll be making it up. I have to hand over to the CTO for that.
Yeah, no, I think like there's been so much that we've been working on. We do have a section called Under the Hood that we usually do, but I'm just going to do like a very quick under the hood as well. So we are working on a few things. One is being able to scan text directly with the Envision with Ally. So that is something that's coming up next. Then once scan text is out, you'll also be able to import files. So we're going to be starting off with PDFs, but we're going to be expanding that very, very soon to other file formats as well. So HTML, text, Word documents, so on and so forth. Even MP3 files that you want to have transcribed by Ally, right? Just drop it in there and Ally would be able to, or videos as well, just being able to drop it in there and then have Ally, give you a description of those videos and you can ask questions back and forth of it and so on. So we're working on a whole bunch of files that you'll be able to import in there. You'll also be able to personalize Ally on the glasses very, very soon. That's something that we're working on. So you'll be able to connect your Ally to your Envision glasses. I saw that as a question as well, and Vanessa answered it. But just for everybody else, so we're going to be able to like connect your Envision glasses over to your Ally on your phone. So whatever allies you have that you've currently selected, including the voices and all of that stuff, is going to be something that you can use on the Envision on the glasses. And that's something that's going to be available as an update very soon, right? So these are some of the things that we're working on. Again, some of the more interesting things that I told you about, which we don't have a release date yet, but we're working on is just imbuing voices with more personality, and all of that stuff, right? So as things advance, we're also definitely going to be adding more and more. So that's what's in the pipeline. And
Kartik,
I'm going to start. Yeah, go on, Sam.
what about potentially in the future adding in celebrity voices? Like if I wanted Yoda to be my voice, would that be a possibility?
I would love to do that, to be honest with you. But we are at a point where copyright is kind of being a big hot topic in AI right now. So for example, we could add voice cloning to Ally, but we decided against it simply because there's a lot of copyright issues that would come out of it, right?
I
So
figured, yeah.
just to, yeah, and since we don't have a legal team as big as Google's, we're just gonna go ahead and yeah, we're gonna take the right way around it and see how the industry evolves and work with that. Awesome. Cool. So I am going to start bringing folks online. The first is Rick Hodgkins. Hey, Rick, you can unmute yourself and ask a question.
Yes. By the way, Sam, I follow. I watched your videos on YouTube. I can only see dark and light. Although I think what you do is I like heavy cooking. Because I saw your cooking
Ah,
videos. But what I wonder where you reside. By the way, I reside in California, in Sacramento area in the United States. But my question for the Envision Ally team is I have two webinars going on, so I'm going to make this quick. What will with the Envision glasses? When will my voice that I chose for Ally on my Apple iPhone be available for the Vision glasses, the Envision glasses?
Yeah. I don't have a specific release date yet, and I do not want to make promises on this call, but it's going to be very soon. So we just have we already have completed the development. There is an internal testing period that we will have, and then we're going to be putting this out on public beta soon. So you can expect that in the next 2 to 3 weeks time, right? So that's what I would say. Just given where we are, could take a little longer as well, but I'm guessing that's how long it's going to take us, but it will definitely happen very soon. It's an important thing that we want to have as well. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because I would like to be able to. That's what I would like to be able to have. As far as Ally helping you wash dishes, only through the glasses can it help you achieve uh, possibilities as well as helping you cross the street and navigate to the bus stop and the light rail station and that type of thing. Thank you
nice.
very much.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much. Yeah.
Yes. Bye bye now.
All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna have Jimmy Lewis Swain. I hope I'm pronouncing that last name correct. Hey Jimmy.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah,
Yes.
can hear you.
Perfect. So my first question is for Sam. This is for one, thank you for coming on. This is super cool.
Yeah.
Um, I've sorry, voiceover. It's going nuts. Uh, so I've watched your videos from day one. I love what you do. And
Awesome.
so I guess my big question thing I mean, I have an iPhone 16, a small little desk tripod situation. What are your thoughts on, filming YouTube videos, filming TikToks, being totally blind? I mean, would you recommend it or?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I did a video about how to set up a YouTube studio to be repeatable. That's kind of the key. You don't want to have somebody come in and help you set it up every single time you want to record something. So I gave a bunch of tips on how to set up stuff so that you might need help setting it up once, but once it's set up, it's repeatable. You can go in and you can get to recording by yourself. And I also have stuff about editing without vision. I mean, using audio cues to do editing and things like that. I absolutely, the great thing about YouTube is everybody has a voice. And so there's a place for everybody on YouTube, and more the merrier. I say go for it. The most important thing is to just start, though. That's the thing that trips most people up, is they get, they want to plan and think about it like, oh, someday. Well, you just got to start, and just know that the first couple of videos are going to be terrible. Everybody's are. Probably my first year of recording was terrible. And it's fine. That's just the way it is. But you got to at least start.
Yeah. And I'm sitting like 350 some subscribers, and I've been using Allies. I have Logic Pro for music production. And so I
Oh,
just
okay.
fired up an audio track and held the phone up next to the mic and yeah, interviewed with my ally for the last video. And then I import it into iMovie, and then
Yeah.
it creates just a black screen so I can upload it to YouTube because you can't upload audio files.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Which that was my next going to be my next question for Kartik. I put it in the Slack, I've been running ragged, so I haven't been able to check. We've been recently, as of yesterday, testing taking songs, for instance, YouTube videos, the official audios of songs,
Mm-hmm.
using a converter, converting them to an MP3 audio file. So then
Mm-hmm.
me or whomever, we can open them up in Logic Pro, which is a digital audio workstation, and there's a stem splitter in there, so I can separate the vocals, the drums, the bass, and like all the other instruments, and hear everything separately. Is that something that could even be considered for Ally? I mean, I know that's a little out there, but
Yeah. It is definitely, but I think, never say never. One of the things that we are working on right now with Ally is just being able to share your screen, right? And if you're using Ally on the desktop or Ally on your phone, you will be able to share your screen and simply ask questions of your screen with Ally. So if there's, if the Logic Pro designers at some point decide to change a button, you could always ask Ally to help you with that. So that's something that we are currently experimenting with, and that would be made available soon for people who use Ally, just being able to share your screen, and then you can ask any questions of the screen itself, right? So that's something that will come. However, having it take actions on your behalf, like doing the entire workflow for you, that's the holy grail right now with AI. Just being able to take actions on your behalf reliably, and no matter how complex they get, right? Just being able to learn them and do them. We'll get there for sure. We'll get there within this decade. But I don't know if it's going to happen. In the next few weeks or so. This sharing the screen stuff, I know will happen in the next few weeks. But not the taking actions on your behalf and making a full cut for you. I wish we get there. I know we'll get there within the next day, within this decade.
yeah. So, and then one more thing, and I'll be done, I promise. So as far as posting those YouTube videos, Sam, do you think it's okay that I just use, Logic, pop open an audio file, record it with the mic and the whole shoot match, and then import it in the iMovie just to have the black screen upload, or do I need some type of, actual video component with especially the Ally ones, because I've got like 6 podcasts coming up that I need
Yeah.
to film.
The general rule of thumb is you want to have some kind of visual on YouTube because it's a visual medium. But that's not set in stone. Obviously, a lot of people do just a black screen, but even if you just put like a graphic up, that would be enough. But you could upload it as a YouTube podcast. YouTube has the ability to upload as podcasts, and then it would be a little bit more understandable to just have audio. But the general rule of thumb, because the world is full of people that can see, unfortunately, they want to have something to look at, and so if you have even just a picture, like an image, I think that's good enough.
Yeah, and is that something you can do a video on, explaining maybe using voiceover with the Mac or the iPhone of how to go into the channel and set that podcast deal up?
Yeah. I believe so. I haven't done it myself, but it's the process is super easy through YouTube. So I'm sure it would work fine with your screen reader of choice.
And is that how you're uploading to the Apple Podcast too? You said you had your podcast out.
No, I host my podcasts on a site called Podbean, and that's where they send it out to all those things. But YouTube has their own type of podcast, so you could explore that first just to see what comes with that, because it's free. That's the nice thing about it.
Yeah. Well, perfect. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Sorry that was long-winded, but
No worries. Thanks, Jimmy.
info.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No worries, Jimmy. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.
You too. Bye.
All right. I have a quick question from Stephen and Cindy here. They asked me, do I need to delete the beta test pilot Ally app before downloading the official app? Yes. So one of the things is you can have, the beta version. If you need to install the App Store version of the app, you need to just delete the version, or it'll overwrite the beta version that exists on your device. At some point, we'll have the option to kind of have both of them on your device at the same time. So if you do want to continue to beta test it, but you also want to have a more stable version that you can install from the App Store, you'll have the option to do both. But for now, you need to replace the delete the beta version and then just install the version from the App Store. However, if you want to go back to testing the beta version of the app, you can just simply go back to Test Flight and download whatever is the latest version, and it should work out okay. I'm going to go ahead and bring on Ryan. Hey, Ryan.
Hi everyone. I got a couple of questions. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hey,
I can
Ryan.
hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi. I'm just wondering, Sam. First of all, how did you get in the assistive tech industry? As a bit of background about me, I qualified in sports massage back in 2019, but due to a couple of injuries I've had, I looking for a career change. So
Yeah. Well, I was diagnosed at age 11, so I've been using assistive technology most of my life, and I've always been interested in technology. Before my current YouTube channel, I had a channel where I taught people how to quote unquote, hack their Android phones. So I was always interested in mobile technology as well. And I just kind of fell into assistive technology. I didn't take the traditional route of, going through school and everything. I just got a job as an AT specialist and learned basically experience, built it up to where I am just based on experience. So that's one way to do it. It's basically you have two routes. You can go through school and get a degree and all of that and get the full education, or you can get work experience and kind of build it up that way. And that's the way I did. I just got lucky, but either way is perfectly fine.
yeah, I got you. Because I've been using assistive technology since I was born, pretty near. So because that's when I was diagnosed. So.
Well, you're the best ones to do it then because you got
Yeah.
all that experience already.
Yeah, and a question for the Ally team, the Envision team. I'm just wondering, as as I know you for certain features you've got to have a Wi-Fi connection. Is there gonna come a point where you won't need a Wi-Fi connection where you can like connect it over your mobile data?
So you can actually do that if you're using the Envision glasses today. So if you're using the Envision glasses, you can connect the glasses to the internet via hotspot. So if as long as you have a hotspot, if you're in the US, you need to get one of those plans that offer you personal hotspot.
Yeah.
And if you do have that plan, then you can just connect the glasses over to your personal hotspot. We have a guide about it, and you can maybe just quickly, drop a note to our support team and they can go ahead and send you the guide on how to connect to a personal hotspot. It's pretty
Yeah,
straightforward once you set it up.
will do because I've been trying to get through to the distributor in the UK and they've
Mm.
been not very helpful, put it that way. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
And
no, just drop a note to.
yeah, and I'll be attending the Cardiff site village on the 8th anyway to see if I can't get it then before then I'll get help there probably.
Yeah, no, you can just definitely drop a quick note to support@letsenvision.com.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you. You can just, we'll send you the guide to set up your hotspot. You set it up once, then it just remembers and, it'll automatically connect to your hotspot whenever it becomes available, right? So
Gotcha.
that's the way it works. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. No problems. Thanks.
And Ryan,
Yep.
it's Vanessa here. Please do mention in your email to support about you going to the Cardiff event, because then that'll come back to me or to Priyanka, and we can just fix the time to meet you there. It'd be great.
Yeah, okay, no problems because
Super.
I'll be travelling up on the day of the meeting and staying overnight maybe. So
Okay, cool. Yeah, we need to fix our plans yet, but it'd be cool to meet. Thanks.
yeah.
Awesome. All right. So I've got Scott here.
How'd you mute? How'd you mute the audio?
Oh my God. Hey Sam, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
You remember me?
Just by Scott? No.
No. We met at the Walk for Sight
Oh,
last year. Yeah.
up in
I emailed- Yeah. This is awesome. So I don't know, you do have one story you want to share where I roasted you with the Envision
Oh, yes.
assistant. Yeah.
So yeah, we were in up in New Hampshire, and this was one of the first times that I had seen that Ally could do this, where Scott had his Ally assistant roast me. He had a similar one to you, Karthik, where it was just sarcastic
It
assistant.
would swear a lot. It would do all sorts of stuff, and I'm actually really excited, Karthik, where it will make the adjust the tone of the assistant.
Mhm.
That was
great.
amazing to roast, the VIP. So you gotta roast me sometime, Sam. I know you have me on TikTok,
Yeah, absolutely.
I would love to be roasted. Actually, can you add me on Insta? Because TikTok's gonna be banned in a couple days. You think you could do that?
Yeah, send me an email.
Yeah.
Sam
Yeah,
at theblindlife.net, and we can,
Yeah.
you can do all that.
I'll probably respond to the thread because I know I talked to you about MagFest and presenting there. So that went great, by the way.
Good.
That was amazing. Yeah. Everyone loved the Luke Skywalker personality I had. But really, I just wanted to come on here and really just say hi to you, Sam, because I miss talking to you. It's really nice to talk to you.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's good
Yeah,
talking to
yeah.
you too.
But
His Zoom profile picture is actually, one of you and him, posing together. I think it must have been one of these events.
That's my profile picture for my YouTube channel.
Oh, that's
it's a
awesome. I
picture of
see
me
it.
and him. Yeah. I do have
Me
a
in my
question for
shorts.
you though, Sam.
All right.
So I've been, beta testing for technology. I've worked with Envision for about a year. I've worked with Meta and I've worked with Be My Eyes on some stuff. How do I get more involved? Because I want to get hands-on technology and beta test for the companies and maybe like go out and do presentations and stuff. And I just wanted to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, there's no real secret to it. It's networking. It's reaching out to them, kind of giving your pitch about why you would be helpful for them, and it's a lot like fishing. You can't just throw one out and expect to catch a bunch of fish. You gotta throw a bunch out, and then it's also, I really built up my reputation by going to all these conferences. I mean, the Envision team knows that because they would see me at these conferences every year.
Yeah.
And it's more just making sure that the companies know that I'm serious about this and I want to be part of it, and that I'm somebody that they will want to work with. So it just takes a while, and it's just a lot of kind of putting out those inquiries out.
All right, cool. Thank you. Because I'm kind of at a dead end right now for what I want to do with content, because I just did the Meta and Be My Eyes thing, and I did the Envision thing, and I'm like, what do I want to do now? It's I talked about Stephen's canes. So that was a pretty cool video I did. And I finally got my sweatshirt, by the way.
Oh, good.
Came in a week later, exactly a week later from when I saw you. So that sucks, but I wear it every day. So yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh,
thank you so
thank
much,
you so much,
Sam.
Scott.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. It's good talking to you again.
Nice talking to you too.
Awesome. So thanks everybody. I think we're a little bit over the hour. And I just, I'm also mindful of your time, Sam. I'm sure you've got other
Thanks.
stuff also going on. But thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you once again for actually doing a lot for the community in terms of, bringing awareness of new products that are out there, and really being, opening up a conversation between people who are building technology and then people who are using it, right? I think that's to be that messenger, to be that voice is extremely important, and I'm glad you are one of the voices, in this community.
Well, good. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, and thanks for having me on. This was a lot of fun. I always enjoy it.
Yeah, thank
We'll
you.
get you back. We'll get you back on soon, Sam. We'll give you a
Sounds
break for a
good.
while. Yeah, and we'll be back with our monthly webinar at the last Thursday of the month in April. So that's coming up, and it's actually not that far away. It's I was looking at it. I thought it was going to be down into the last week, but it's actually, I think, let me just check. It is on the the way it works is on the 20. Let me see. Can't read that. 24th. Sorry, squinting at my screen. So the 24th, and so we'll be pushing that out across our channels and everything. But thanks everybody. I'm sorry we didn't get to all the questions today, but keep sending them through on any of our socials, and we'll try and answer as much as I can, or try again next month.
Thank you so much. And everybody do try out Ally. So you can go onto the App Store or the Play Store and just install Ally. If you search for Ally Personal Assistant or Ally AI Assistant, that's ALLY, you should be able to install the app. Or you can also go to our website, that's ally.me, so ALLY.me, and you have the links to download the app. Or you can also use the web version of Ally there, and just use it on your phone or on your browser. And I'm very, very excited to hear what you guys all think now that Ally is out in the wild. Don't need to sign up for a beta. I'm super curious, so please keep us posted.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Sam.